Go for it.
Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, and I'm the host of this podcast that's mine, gonna be called History is Dank. History is Dank with Strider Wilson. Dankness from the heart.
Friggin' what up, dude? Welcome back to another ep of History is Dank. Dude, I'm your host, Strider Wilson. We got Aaron going beast mode on the sticks, dude. What up, Aaron, dude?
What up?
Dude, I'm just freaking posted up right now. If you don't know by now, I mean, what are you, living under a rock? Because Making Memories is out on the All Things Comedy YouTube channel. It's free. It's funny. It's the biggest release in the history of YouTube comedy special releases. That may or may not be true, but here's the thing. We have the power together to make that true. Let's just keep checking it out, baby. Share it. Spread it like a wildfire, baby. Spread it like Stoke. Which, in fact, Stoke is at the center of today's episode. A little town, in fact, in Hackney, London. Hackney there. Right, missus. In London, across the pond. Dude wrote in, named James Allison. He goes, dude, he wanted to give a fat shout out to his hometown and a fat shout out to Hims, dude. I'm like, not Hims, you know, the boner pills or anything like that. This episode is not brought to you by that, dude. Although boners are chill. Hims, as in Hymn. He goes, dude, there's this guy named Isaac Watt. He's regarded as the godfather of English hymnody, which I just love that title, dude. Imagine you're at a dinner party and you look over and this guy's wearing some sort of velvet robe type smoking jacket. And you look over and go, oh, yes, it's Mr. Watts. He's the godfather of English hymnody. Yes, this guy freaking would belt out lyrics, dude. He's basically the first Christian rock star, dude. We don't get Creed without Isaac Watts. So this is massive, massive historical weight here on this episode, written in by our boy James. So huge shout out. Also, speaking of shout outs, dude, got to give a big time shout out to my boy Luke Connor, posted up in the Jimmy John's lot right now, listening to this episode. Hopefully he's crushing. He put out sent a nice video, dude, of him just vibing, dude, with the pod. And I'm hoping, dude, you get yourself a pickle, dude. You know, if right now, if you're listening, you're cracking into that bag of chips, you're crunching pretty loud. Let me say it again so you can hear me, Luke. Get yourself a pickle, dude. Trust me, dude. They're dank. It's going to be too much to eat all in one sitting, you know, but you know, share a pickle and make a friend, you know. So crush that Jimmy John's. What up, my dank dog, Luke, dude. Hunt Club Dubs. So this guy, Isaac Watts, dude, he wrote a lot of educational books. That's how it was back in the day. In Europe, at least. A lot of times ministers, monks, fucking, dude, pastors. This guy ended up being a pastor, dude. Reverend, dude. And these guys could read, you know, because they had to read the Bible. A lot of people, this is before the printing press. Actually, no, this is after the printing press here. Actually, you know what? Let's get these dates down. Let me look up when was the printing press invented. Let's check it out. Because anyway, literally 15th century. Yeah, we're well after that, dude. We're operating in this guy, Isaac Watts. He was born in Southampton. I don't know what type of accent that is. 1674, but he died in Stoke Newington, dude, which is a little hamlet of Stoke, which we're going to be talking about that episode. Stoke Newington, dude. Also, there's a Stoke City Football Club, and this guy was a nonconformist minister. Why, dude? Mainly, also this has to do with Martin Luther, separatist. But real quickly, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. My point about the printing press: literacy goes up once the printing press is invented. You know, you didn't have monks just posting up reading Latin, dude. And you didn't have just Gregorian chants, dude, of psalms, dude. Oh, Halo. You had Halo music, dude. Oh, Yeah, those bros, dude, sounded like they're freaking busting at the same time. Oh. Those bros. No. You got nonconformist, dude, means, separatist from the Church of England, dude, Martin Luther, the 95 edicts or whatever that he posted on the hammer to the church door there, dude. So you have this reverend, dude, Pastor Watts being like, you know what, dude? If we're going to sing hymns, it doesn't just have to be psalms. Now, psalms was considered safe. It was traditional because when you would read psalms, there was sort of a melody to it, and that's why it was okay in the church. It was safe. If you're like, okay, well, if we want to bring the Stoke up a little bit in church because it's pretty boring, it's in Latin, no one can really quite understand what's going on. Stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up, sit down, kneel, bend over. It's basically how this whole entire church is going at this point. Now it's like, let's stand up, let's shake a little bit, let's clap our hands a little bit, let's nod our heads a little bit, let's sing along to some hymns, dude. At least, I grew up going to church. It was the most fun part. You know what I mean? Also good part to be like, hey, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick right now, and then disappear for 20 minutes. So Watts would say, no, a hymn, and I'm looking for his quote here. He would say, we don't just have to sing psalms. Don't get me wrong. Psalms are pretty sick, but I want to be able to sing a song that's meant to induce spiritual, awakening and spiritual worship. I think we can get in touch more and more if I just write these sick lyrics. And he wrote one of the most Stoke-inducing hymn of all time, Joy to the World. Joy to the world, the Lord has. That's him, bro.
Yeah.
That's what they play at the end of Christmas. It's the biggest banger in hymnody. Might be throwing in an extra syllable there. It's the biggest banger, dude. He was controversial because of that take. He goes, look, dude, I want to summarize scriptural truth. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be scriptural truth here, dude. But we need to make some bangers, bro. Let's get people into these church doors here, dude. So that's sick.
Put butts in them pews.
Put butts in them pews, dude. All right? You need to step it outside Psalms, dude. Now, a little blurb on Christian hymnody here, dude. Of course, as I just went over, derived from the singing of psalms in the Hebrew temple. Okay? We learned this from Greek historian, Greek texts, also as well as the Old Testament itself. It doesn't really take off until after Constantine, and we'll get into this a little bit. There was, Christianity after, Christ dies on the cross, the ultimate sacrifice. Christianity after that is, you have like the main OG dudes like Peter in building his church and basically becomes the Catholic Church. But then you have something called Gnostics. We'll get into that a little bit. And all through the 2nd century, also Christians are being persecuted at this time, and they're sort of writing down their own versions of things, and what ends up becoming canon that makes into the Bible is another story. But not until Constantine makes Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire do you get this canonized Bible, and then also hymnody takes off, dude. Mainly Psalms, of course. Mainly Psalms. But that's where it takes off. Gnostics, Mycenaeans, Byzantine Church in the East, Orthodox Christianity. And basically where you split the Roman Empire, the Latin Roman Empire, the Catholic Church versus the Byzantines in the Eastern Empire in Constantinople. Orthodox Christianity was one of the reasons the fall of the Roman Empire. Sort of the dissolve of the Roman Empire, really. But you got this dude, St. Ephrem. Okay, 4th century Mesopotamia. He's a deacon, bro. That's the dude who does like the priest's, the work during that. The priest will say the homily. He's the main dude, but the deacons, he's the one like lifting stuff, handing goblets, and getting people in order. He's making stuff flow. He's known as the father of Christian hymnody. Okay? You don't get Isaac Watts without Saint Ephrem, dude. Okay? Pope Benedict XV made him a doctor of the church back in the day. He's a bishop. He's deacon to Bishop James Nimbus in Mesopotamia, Turkey. Not far from Ephrem, not far from Ephesus. That's where you get in the Bible the letter from the Ephesians, Paul writing to the Ephesians. So this town is ceded to the Persians. This guy's writings, and a lot of priestly writings, are just great primary resources for just straight up history, not just religion, but just straight up history. So they're sick, at least reference points for historians, no matter what your faith be. Anyway, so a lot of his, not just his theology, and a lot of these guys, like I was going to say earlier, because they can read, and coming full circle on my point now, it's all coming back to me, baby. They're also educators and tutors, and this guy was a tutor as well. St. Ephrem was a tutor. A theologian, of course, philosophy, but theology with a religious angle. But he would write a ton of hymns. His writing, he's credited for writing approximately 3 million lines, dude. Almost as many lines that were done at my bachelor party, dude. What up, dude? Kidding, we actually kept it pretty tame. We ate steak, played a little blackjack, and watched Top Gun Maverick. Pretty chill. Played a little beer pong, had a chipping contest. Pretty mellow. So this guy is a beast. He wrote against, he did not like the 2nd century Gnostics. In song also, not only do you not get Isaac Watts without St. Ephrem, you also don't get Dante's Divine Comedy. In his hymns and his lyrics and his writings, Ephrem's graphic description of heaven and hell heavily inspires Dante's Divine Comedy, which is sick. And I've mentioned Gnostics a few times here, and maybe you've heard this. It's always like points that, dudes that are annoying, and I went to Catholic school growing up, and they'd be like, well, what about the Gnostics? Their teachings. There's sects of Christianity that aren't even talked about in the Bible. How can we say what is right, what is wrong? And some of their points, they make some good points, but mainly they're annoying, these kids. And the Gnostics have a lot of, they have gnarly practices. They're like obsessed with androgyny. They think that they kind of have like, they're progressive, but also not progressive at the same time, even from a 21st century lens. Basically how they're defined is they believe every human being contains a piece of God within them, and which has fallen from the immaterial world into the bodies of humans. All physical matter subject to decay and rotting and death. So these bodies in the material world created by an inferior being are therefore evil. So trapped in the material world, but ignorant of its status, the pieces of God require knowledge, gnosis, Gnostics, esoteric knowledge only known by the Gnostics to inform them of their true status. Right there, that's going to raise a red flag. Yeah. Right there, you're like, okay. And they're like, yeah, no, these are teachings that came directly from the Almighty to us. You join us, we'll teach you these teachings, but only we know these teachings, so you got to follow us. Then you have, of course, also sketchy by mainstream Christianity at the time in the 3rd century. They're going, no, they developed this thing called heresy. Before this, there was no heresy or heretics.
Heresy, yes.
Heresy, hymnody and heresy. And they'd go,
hymnody and heresy
go together in harmony.
Like peaches and cream.
Yeah, bro, you don't get bangers like Kevin Little. You don't get bangers like Creek, can I take you higher? Whatever church Creed was singing in, I'd be there, dude. Had to take a sip of water, dude. Hit too high of notes right there, dude. Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of to unpack with the Gnostics. You know, let's keep it Stoke induced. But I just wanted to touch on that briefly. And we know this. There was beef before the main churches were developed, and then look, is there any surprise then that later in the 15th century, when more people are learning to read, this age of enlightenment in the 17th century, when we got our boy Isaac Watts, that there's going to be more pushback? And the city of Stoke Newington is sort of an area, it's kind of described as an area of dissent, kind of, and not even, you know, pushing back like, you know, violent up people, although, you know, if you do look up this town, like I think like IRAs had strongholds in Stoke Newington, but let's keep it Stoke, okay? It's this Hackney borough in inner East London. It encompasses plenty of neighborhoods. Some that you may have heard of: Shoreditch, Hoxton, Haggerston, Dalston, Hackneywick, and of course, Stoke Newington. You can go there and you can appreciate a quieter day nowadays, dude. I'm sure there's good furniture stores, dude. Cozy neighborhood filled with, you know, young families, dude, okay? You know, wander through the peaceful, you know, they got peaceful Clissold Park, admire the 18th century mansion, Clissold House, and Church Street, Old Church Street. Tons of little nooks and crannies to go into. You maybe pour yourself some eggnog. You know, get yourself some shepherd's pie. I want to go to a cozy little nook in Stoke Newington. I want to go to a place that has history, has those red brick on the outside. You walk in there, the wood creaks a little bit, and you had the best, warmest, you know, coziest dish you ever had over a nice red ale. That's what I want, dude. Next door, there's a place where they make axes or something like that. Very sick. In the Middle Ages and the Tudor times, it was a very small village, frequented by wayfarers on a pit stop before journeying north. But like I said, you know, it's since the 15th century, center of religious, political, cultural dissent. It gets its first mention in the Domesday Book. This Domesday Book is interesting, speaking of pieces of history. This is, you know, you could call it Doomsday, but it's the Great Survey of all of England, parts of Wales. It was completed in 1086 at the behest of King William the Conqueror. Known as the book in the time known as the Book of Winchester, and then it became known as the Domesday Book because in the 12th century, because the book was so called because its decisions were unilateral and unalterable, and it was like the last judgment. So whatever was in there, and if it was like if you owe the king this much, and it says it in that book, that's final, bro. Kind of whack if you ask me. But once again, it's an invaluable primary resource. And we can learn about Stoke Newington, dude. Fucking dude. You get a lot of people coming with anti-Roman Catholic, anti-Anglican beliefs there, influenced by the 16th century teachings of Luther, Calvinism going on there. Fire and brimstone, dude. But mainly 17th century Protestants, Puritans, Congregationalists, Independents, Presbyterians, and Quakers. Any case, you got your boy Isaac Watts posting up there, dude, writing hymns and pumping them straight out of Stoke Newington. You know, they've got the Manchester scene and that Manchester sound, you know, New Order, Joy Division. Well, there's that Stoke Newington sound, and it comes in the form of hymnody, dude. Freaking straight up hymnody, bro. Gnarly. Very freaking gnarly, dude. I mean, pretty sick. Pretty sick. You know, I'm looking back at this Constantine stuff because I want to see if there's anything more I want to share with you guys about that. Not too much, to be honest. They used to walk cattle through Stoke Newington.
I thought you were going to say cats.
That would have been sick, dude. Dude, yeah, you had a lot of people in Stoke Newington, a lot of weirdos who would walk their cats on leashes. You ever seen that? Cat on a leash?
Iguana on a shoulder, cat on a leash. I've seen it all.
Bro, I saw a rat on a leash one time in Berkeley. Dude had his pet rat. Granted, it was a cuter rat than normal because it had like a color pattern to it. Like it almost looked like one of those spotted horses. Like it was like white with like tan patch hide. Almost looked like it had a hide. But I was like, dude, maybe this dude should just hide indoors and just not be out with your pet rat. Although big time power move.
Really?
I'm into power moves these days. And if you show up to a meeting and you're like, this is my pet rat, Charles, he's going to be here with us, dude. Isaac's not a bad name for this is Isaac Watts, my pet rat, dude. Give him a first and last name, Mr. Isaac Watts.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good ass power move, dude. Shit. Just spilt coffee on my shirt. That's going to stain. I mean, kind of a quick little banger, this little Hamlet of Stoke. You know, now it's a mix, a hodgepodge. It's a creative space, I should say. Stoke Newington, I looked up like in Paste magazine. Check the resources, always have the resources. It's described you can go there and have a quiet part of town. You can get that nice little cozy little ale. Stumble in and get some good eats. And it's kind of on the eastern, Hackney, I guess is the east side of London or whatever. And it's sort of the more creative hipster area. You could get yourself a nice, probably $9 latte there, which would be nice. Probably there are dudes who have pet rats in that area. I don't know who I trust less, a dude with a pet rat or a dude with a pet lizard. Probably rat.
Yeah, maybe rat. If you were going to say snake, I'd say the snake guy, but probably the rat guy.
I'm not big on snake guys.
Yeah.
You got to be a guy, I'm realizing when you get older. It's why I'm thinking, I said it again, and maybe it's on my mind because we're talking 17th century England, 15th century. Gothic architecture is big in that time. I think I got to go Gothic. I got to have an identity. It's either that or you become like in your 40s, you got to become like a car guy. It's like, well, hey, what's he into? Golfs? Or can I just be into nothing? Strider he sits and he mutters. That's what I'm into.
You gotta get into
I kind of like
whittling.
That. Yeah, I got to whittle.
Yeah.
I have a knife. I take wood. I whittle it and I mutter to myself. That's kind of what I'm into, dude. It's easy. It's simple. Maybe cooking, dude. I should get into cooking. I'm not very skilled, but I guess if I practice, I could get better at it.
That's everything.
You know? Practice makes perfect. What are you into?
Guitar.
See, that's good. You have an
guitar.
instrument. It's big.
I haven't played in a while. It's been so long since I played that my app I had to reinstall the app. I was like, damn it. That's telling me it's not good.
I'm just going to be into making bank, dude.
And obviously I have softball as well.
Softball's huge. That's big, actually. You're the captain of softball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Struck out 4 on Monday.
Beast.
Dude.
That's a beast mode move, dude. To strike out. Also, dude, getting struck out in softball, it's got to feel bad.
They made the guys who struck out wear pink jerseys.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is, I don't know.
Let's
everyone
calm down.
Everyone has a bad day.
Let's calm down, but fun. You know, if it unifies everyone, hey, a little razzing. Okay, fine.
Usually it's
fine.
like you buy a 12-pack or something.
That's better. That's a better punishment. I think that's, yeah.
Not a pink jersey.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah. I mean, Stoke Newington, I'd visit this little hamlet of Stoke. I like describing a town as a little hamlet. Mm-hmm. I think that's nice. You know, I didn't want to go too heavy into this whole Gnostics and beliefs because, look, we come at this from a historical, objective angle. We don't do anything, come at what anyone believes. But I'll tell you, anytime someone's like, hey, I know these teachings direct, you don't. My order of friends and we wear robes. Anytime there's dudes with robes being like, we have good knowledge, just, have your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Just kind of be like, hey, things might not, and they're kind of like, hey, man, we're your new family. Anytime someone's like, hey, we're your new family now, look out.
Well, I would say, first of all, take a look at those robes and see, are there any women in those robes? No.
If there's women in them, that could be chill.
Are there any people of color in those robes? No.
Nope.
Then you
Not in 17th century London.
Got a little something to worry about.
Yeah.
Even today, I'm just saying.
Oh, even, yeah. Heads up on that.
Yeah.
Come out to our compound, dude.
Yeah.
We're going to listen to David. David's going to give us lunch, and we're all going to listen to him. Yeah,
there was a guitar player.
Drop off your wife, dude. Dude, you just drop off your wife, cruise back. Don't worry, dude. You're going to go pick up lunch. David's going to hang out with all your wives, then cruise back. Yeah, dude.
David Koresh had like a cover band, and apparently he was pretty good.
Okay, see, this is what I mean. So maybe the church was onto something, being like, I don't know, bro. These guys, their bands are too sick. There's too much power in the good music. He's going to put his music in you, dude. Yeah, maybe they were onto something with that, bro. You got to have a good cover band, dude. Dude, these like cool, I'm going to rip on some guys now in my algorithm. These alpha males, I've ripped on them. Also, there's these like cool, hip youth pastors.
Yeah.
I'm out on these guys.
Yeah.
If you're an adult and you wear horizontal stripes on your shirt, you're done. No. What are you? What?
Are you Bert or
yeah,
Ernie?
yeah. You Bert or Ernie? What are you skateboarding today? Get out of here, dude. Do you need a Band-Aid for your kneecap? No.
They're always like that meme of Steve Buscemi with the skateboard.
Dude, yes, exactly,
What's up,
bro.
fellow kids?
Being cool, man. Yeah, hey, look. I like authenticity with this stuff. Be like, dude, we're dorks. We play touch football. We blast the Supertones. I think actually that's a pretty sick Christian band. Not gonna lie, they got some good bangers. And that's fine. And we like to talk about God. That's cool, great. Don't also be like, we're cool. No. No. You can be cool if you're honest. Honest is cool.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my big takeaway, dude. Just let me hang out, dude. No nature walks. I'm gonna whittle. I'm gonna mutter.
Goddamn kids these days.
Yeah, kids and friggin', you know what I mean? Friggin', what am I talking about? Friggin' stupid.
Pull your pants up.
I kind of do want to wear horizontal stripes. I think it makes me look a little more jacked. I kind of have a slender frame. I kind of wish I could do that. I'm just stupid. But what am I going to wear corduroy pants and be like, man, here's the thing. Jacob, he was just like you and me. Dude, shut up, dude. Go back to Latin, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
I'd rather
shaving
have,
a little bald spot on the top of your head.
Dude, that's the move, bro. That's gonna be my style, dude. I'm gonna do the Friar Tuck haircut. Dude, I'm going Friar Tuck haircut and I'm gonna skateboard like that. That's a pretty sick look, actually, dude. Horizontal stripes, good set of Vans, and the Friar Tuck haircut. If you can skate well, that is cool, dude. Yeah. Whatever you're preaching to me, I will, dude. Please bone my wife. Please. Freaking ollie straight into my bed, dude. Freaking, you can pop shove me out of my bed, dude. So anyway, I'm glad we found that. All right, dude. Stoked on we've done a few write-in episodes, so I'm happy to honor those. Please keep sending those emails, saying freaking what up. Always stoked on this little town, Stoke Newington. How to go over that. I mean, that town, it's a no-brainer. How to do a little deep dive into that, and find the godfather of English hymnody, dude. So sick on that. Stay stoked, and wear whatever you want. All right, wear whatever you want, but don't act cool. Okay, unless you whittle. Other than that, freaking stay stoked. I'll freaking catch you Dank touring until the next one, dude. Check out the special. It's out. Share it with your mom. Share it with your dad. Wear a robe and watch it. Watch it in a robe. All right, dude.